stuff very, very formal. Formal, right?
Formal.
Formal.
We've been formal, huh?
Then we can go to some easy and informal topics, such as marriage.
Oh, that's such. You think that's easy?
Well, maybe because I haven't have a marriage, so I have thought it's easy. Okay, so
It's a pleasant topic, but I'm
Oh,
not sure
yeah.
it's easy topic.
makes sense. It's a pleasant topic. So, the topic 5 is that how it feels to have a marriage more than 30 years, so that I can learn some little tricks from you. I hope I can apply someday. Okay,
We did it again.
Yeah. The first one is that how did you two meet, and what make you commit to each other?
Well, that's a whole nother video.
Another whole film, right? Yeah.
Well, we met on like our university sponsored group outings where guys and girls would go
Group
out
dating.
together. What kind of group
Yeah,
dating?
yeah.
Yeah. So we met each other on one of those outings and struck up a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, as we talked, we realized, oh, you're going to be a missionary, I'm going to be
Filmmaker.
So
Yep.
we're obviously not on the same life path.
Right. There's no possibility.
But we didn't see that as a problem for just being good friends.
Of course.
And so, I love to tell people that's a great way to start any relationship is a lot of people, they want to get into the romantic end of things way too fast.
I don't believe so. If I even cannot make a friend, be a good friend with a girl, how can I
Exactly
be couple with this girl?
Yeah.
I don't
There's a lot. And in fact, we, when our kids wanted to start dating, and they would ask, well, they wouldn't just ask, we would give them guidelines for how to date. And we would start them out with, let's focus on a get to know you phase before we even talk about more romantic stuff.
Yeah.
There's so much to discover about a person.
Of course.
That's not deep, right?
Right.
Super deep.
Right.
I mean, life experiences. What do you like? What do you not like? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? There's so much you can talk about.
Exactly.
Likes and dislikes.
Right.
And all of these are part of who this person is. Right. So those were the kind of things, that we talked about. Although we, obviously things got more serious, right? So, but I think the solid friendship was super important. Just having a solid, we just enjoyed being together. And that has really been kind of a hallmark. We love doing ministry together. Like what God has called us to do is unique in the sense that I don't go off to my work and she doesn't go off to her work. We get to do a lot of stuff together.
Right.
And sometimes people say, doesn't that drive you crazy? I mean, I don't
marry a colleague.
I don't know if I could live with my husband all week long or my wife. It's like, no, and there are times when, obviously when she has ladies Bible study, I'm not there. She's with the ladies, right? So it's not like we do absolutely everything together. Right. But as much as we can, we love to do life and ministry together.
Yeah.
We just love that. So, as far as the making the commitment, that involved, obviously little by little, we prayed and asked God to give us direction. We talked with other people. We consulted our parents. We really believe that our parental approval was crucial. And if either one set of our parents didn't think to get married, we wouldn't. So like Don's parents, I was in school still. I was at the college working at that point. And I wrote them a letter and asked them if I wanted her dad's permission to take our relationship to a higher level.
Oh, so
I wasn't saying I have a rough draft of that. I found it not too long ago. It's hilarious.
Oh, you find that letter?
Yeah, yeah.
More than 30 years ago. That's
So I have a copy of the rough draft of it. But so my in-laws, so I'm in South Carolina. They're in Michigan.
Okay.
They drove all the way to South Carolina
To meet you in person.
Interviewed me for 5 hours.
Like us.
Yes.
Together or one by one?
No, together.
Like three. So
there was 3 of us.
How old are you at
Don
that
was
time?
in Brazil. So I probably would have been well, I was in my 20s then.
So I guess that's the hardest interview you had ever.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
They were super nice. But they asked really
hard questions.
Helpful questions. Like they could see that there were elements in our personalities that could grate on each other.
I see that.
And they were right. They said that doesn't mean that you shouldn't necessarily get married, but there are things that you're going to have to realize you're going to have to work through. Like this part of you is it's part of who you are, because there are things that you can change, and then there are things that are just kind of part of who you are, in the sense of you're laid back or you're more energetic. And I'm not saying those things can't change, but your tendency is to be this way or that way.
Yeah.
And so they were saying, some of these things you're going to have to be aware of. And they were right. When we got married, it was like, oh man,
they are right.
Dad were right. And a lot of
future Tyler.
So
fortune Tyler.
Well, they could see.
Yeah.
And what's helpful about having like parents or other people outside of the relationship give you counsel is because when you're in the relationship,
you're bland.
You're so smitten. You're just not seeing stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you need somebody with clearer vision to say, hey, you're not seeing this.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
So that was important to us to get like our mom and dad.
Did you interview your?
Not in the same way.
Okay. Just a casual conversation.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't like, which makes more sense. I think sometime, how would we put this?
Yeah.
I was, asking about their daughter, and I think dads feel a special protection.
Of course.
About their daughters.
Of course.
Not that we don't love our sons, but we have a special desire to see.
I think that moms love their sons much better. I think it's always this. I notice that a lot.
Yes, there is a special cross. You're right.
Yeah.
And that moms take a special interest in who their sons are marrying.
Yeah.
And
men hate men. Women hate women.
I don't know if it's that way. But so having input from our parents, family members, like we wanted our brothers and sisters to know. Because I think, one thing you forget when you're marrying is that you're not just marrying that individual.
Right.
You are marrying into
their family. Yeah, makes sense.
And so it's important to get to know their family, as much of it as you can. You can't always get to know everybody.
Right.
To be,
at least
to have an idea
of her parents.
Yeah, at least I think it's helpful if you get to know the siblings.
Right.
And if the siblings,
if you have,
are on board, if you have them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think all of that was important, but the most important part was the conviction that God had made us for each other. But he used our parents and other people to help us realize that.
But even if you and Dawn are such a great fit, but I believe there are still some conflicts.
Oh no, we never have conflicts.
And
that's not true. I'm saying this online. That is not true. We do have conflicts.
Okay.
I'm joking.
that's when you make everything recording. You must clarify. You are joking.
Right.
If not, some people just think you are serious.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to say that.
Yeah, makes sense. And then some people will take that clip off.
I know. And they'll make me say something I never said.
Right. Or you said, but you take off the context.
Yeah, they take it out of context.
The context.
Yeah.
Right. So when conflict happens,
yeah,
what pattern, based on your experience, what kind of communication pattern will make the conflicts even worse? But what kind of a pattern or how you deal with it will make it, get repelled, get it fixed?
Yeah. Well, I think the what makes it worse if you're having conflict is digging in and assuming that I'm right.
And the other person is wrong.
Yeah. That's just the assumption. So I'm digging in because I'm right and they're wrong, without looking at the facts, without listening to the other person, just assuming that they're wrong, and then just digging in like I'm not going to give up on this. I think that's super not helpful. We need to be, when there's a conflict, I mean, we tell people this a lot in marriage conflict. It's rare. It's so rare. Maybe, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but very rarely, if you're having conflict in a marriage, is it because of one of the person only, right?
Makes sense, because all communication are two-way.
And so both, now maybe one partner has a greater percentage of the problem.
Right. Percentage makes sense.
That makes sense.
Right.
But to think that it's 100%.
Yeah,
it's like
hard.
That's really hard for me to buy.
Yeah, it's hard
because none of us are perfect, and so
right.
We all contribute to the problems that we have, as well as the solutions.
Right.
So when it's super not helpful when I decide to dig in and say the problem is all you.
Yeah, and
that's not helpful.
I agree, and it's very easy,
Maybe it's super easy.
Yeah, it's very easy to be that.
Yeah,
and try to prove I'm correct.
Sure,
you are wrong. Even to prove I'm more smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm much smarter than you.
Right.
It's gets things worse.
Yeah. That does nothing to help you resolve.
Mm-hmm.
If your first movement in trying to resolve a problem is to tell the other person that they're the problem, that's not going to help resolve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
What's the silver bullet
that saves things?
Yeah, saves things. Yeah, what's the silver bullet to save things?
So the best pattern, like in our, personally, is when we're having conflict. Asking the Lord to help me be humble enough to see my part of the problem. So instead of assuming that Dawn is the problem, assuming instead that I have at least a percentage of the problem and asking God to help me see that. That's a big step. When I assume that if there's conflict, I am part of the problem.
I'm the troublemaker.
Well, I'm not going to say she doesn't that she hasn't contributed, but to start out by looking at what is my contribution,
my responsibility.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
And then to further listen when we actually sit down and talk, shut my mouth and just listen to her. Really listen, like trying to understand her point of view. Because sometimes when we're talking to somebody else, we're not really listening. We're just waiting for the moment we can jump in and say what we want to say, and defend ourselves, pull out the next piece of evidence, right? If I really want to resolve the problem, I need to just be quiet and really try and understand her point of view.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I might not agree, but you can't resolve a problem you don't understand, right?
Of course.
And so part of solving it is listening to how she perceives it.
Context, background.
Exactly. How are you seeing this? So I think those two things, and obviously we would pray a lot about it too, just asking God to guide us, but having him help me step back and say, okay, there's a problem. I probably have part of it, and I want to understand what is my responsibility here.
Right.
What did I do or say that was wrong?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it makes
Those are
sense.
huge. If both people do that, then you're way ahead on the road to resolving the conflict.
This is another thing. Understand.
Oh,
easy to agree with, but hard to practice daily.
And that goes back to the command I find hardest. Deny yourself.
Deny yourself.
Because when you're having conflict, what is the natural part of me wants to say? It's your problem. Right?
Because we have ego.
Yeah. It wants to protect my ego.
Yeah.
Whereas Jesus is saying, no, kill your ego. Right?
Yep.
It's not all about you.
Yep.
Listen to what your wife has to say and agree with her if what she's saying is true. Take another look. If she's saying you did this, and this, don't just defend yourself. Stop and play it back from her point of view. So that's the other thing is especially in marriage, part of the art of it, and like we'll both say this, we're still working at this, is trying to see our relationship and life as the other person sees it.
Yeah, that's
there are so many different levels to that. The basic one being I'm a man, she's a woman.
Yep.
It's a big difference.
Of course.
Just by those two different things, by our gender, we see things differently.
Of course.
But then there's so many other elements.
Yeah.
You know, I was raised in the West. She was raised in the East.
Right.
They're very different cultural contexts.
Right. And the different family background.
Yeah. So there's lots of different places where your lives can kind of collide a little bit.
Right.
One of the best ways to work towards a resolution is for me to try and understand where she's coming from. And again, we could go back to the cultural thing. Just because it's different doesn't make it
stupid. You successfully connect everything together, right? You have the potential to become a good filmmaker, right? They tell story and connect them from pieces.
Oh well, we'll see. God's telling a pretty good story on his own.
Okay, yeah. So since you successfully maintain a happy life, at least so far. So what advice, what suggestions you would give to a couple who is in year 1, year 10, year 20? You cannot give it to a couple to year 40. You haven't reached 40, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're gonna reach 35 this year.
Yeah. So you still are not qualified to give advice on
your 40-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's start from year 1. So what suggestion you give for couples in year 1?
Listen and be patient. Like the whole really listen to your spouse.
What's real listen?
Not just hearing them. Because listening means paying attention to what they're saying. Right? Because I can look at you and be hearing you, but
I think about something else.
I could be thinking about a baseball game.
Yeah, I think about
right?
Smells so good. What we have for dinner?
So I'm sitting here looking at you. It might look like I'm listening to you, but I'm not really trying to hear what you're saying and how this relates to who you are.
I got you.
Whereas, and that's a huge part of marriages. This is one of the ways I get to know who you are is by listening to you express yourself. And if while you're expressing yourself, I'm thinking about hiking next week or paying the bills tomorrow. what does that tell you?
College students is very good at this.
Yes.
Body sit in the classroom, but the
Yeah.
mind is still in the
Somewhere-
dormitory.
yeah. Yeah, and that actually I would give that piece of advice to no matter where you are in marriage. You can never stop learning how to listen, and you can never stop being patient with the person that you're living with, that you're married to. Because there's always going to be moments when they're not at their best.
Of course.
Just like
after a bad day.
Yeah. And so when that, I mean, Jesus said, we call this the golden rule. He said, treat others as you would have them treat you. So when Dawn's having an off day, I need to treat her like I want her to treat me when I'm having an off day.
Right.
Right? That's how I need to think it through, is give the treatment to my spouse that I hope that they will give to me. I don't do it so they will, and patience is one of those. It's just realizing, making a relationship this close and intimate. It's the most intimate of relationships, right?
Yep.
There's gonna be a lot of times when you're bouncing off each other and things are not connecting. If you don't have patience at that point to just work through it, you're not going to have a joyful marriage. You have to have the patience to work through things. Now, sometimes that means there have been times when if a misunderstanding is serious enough, where we'll put off talking until we've gathered our thoughts. Right.
Yeah.
Because sometimes thinking about it without having prepared for that conversation can be disastrous.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we'll have a mutual agreement. We know we need to talk this through.
Right.
But why don't you think about it and pray about it, and I'll think about it and pray about it, and then we can come together and sit down and talk.
Yeah, when everyone is calm down.
Yeah, but then when we do that, we both need to listen.
Right.
Really listen to what the other person is saying.
What's their need? What's their motivation? What do they want?
Or what are they want? And what are they seeing that maybe I'm not seeing? Because sometimes that's the case, is that I might not be seeing a defect or a sin in my life that she's seeing. Right.
Because what is she or he experience may not be something you are experiencing. Like give birth to a baby. You will never experience that. You'll never experience
exactly what she experienced.
Right. And then I believe then, because you don't have, same, experience, it's very easy to have disagreements.
Or, I mean, use that same thing. We were both there, but our experiences are different.
Oh, right.
I was in the same room. I saw the baby being born, but of course my experience of my child's birth is really different from hers.
Of course. A lot of you don't pay the price.
I don't have the same pain. No.
Yeah, when you say the fireworks, you don't use walk. You say, oh, fireworks are so beautiful.
Right.
But you didn't say, people who work and behind the curtain.
Right.
I can't say that.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking at these different age groups, it's hard for me to
distinguish.
It's like this, because this is something, it's not like after 10 years, well, I've learned to listen and I'm super patient, so let's move on to the other stuff. It's like, no, this is something you always have to work on, is being patient.
I agree.
And really listening. And both of those, we haven't used the word, but both of those are elements of love.
Oh, yeah.
Because Paul tells us love is patient. Real love is patient.
Yeah.
And real love, because it cares about the other person, wants to listen.
Right.
Right.
And patience needs a lot of time. And the time is the most valuable thing from you. You can give people $100 because you have $1,100.
Right.
But time, if you spend 2 hours, 3 hours with me, you cannot do anything else. right, in the 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
So that's something unreplaceable, and it shows your love.
Yeah, and I think a lot of those kind of what we would say intangible investments are super important in marriage. The investments of time,
attention, patience.
Yeah, and attention to details, things that the person likes. Not just showing up on the special days when things are expected.
Oh yeah, it's become.
Which are important.
Yeah.
But there's a special way to like when you show up with flowers on just an ordinary day and she says, "What are these for?" And you say, "Because
I love you."
I love you.
Makes sense. I think
there's no other reason, right?
Right.
Writing note. I mean, there's just a lot of different simple ways you can express yourself. And again, most of them involve time.
Yeah.
Like you said.
And attention.
And the person understands that.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's probably a lot more that could be said, but that will be in another 8-hour video.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that every topic, even every question and each topic can be expanded into a large one.
Oh, I know, because you just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper.
Right, and all those things are important topics, which is not like, which movie you want to see this weekend, right?
Right.
Those topics and those questions are something deserve to think the whole life.
You want ketchup or mustard on your hamburger? Not quite so important.
Well, for some people it's important.
True.
Yeah. Topic 6.
Oh my.
Okay, now you get married.
Yes.
And now you have kids.
Yes.
And you even get 4 kids.
I got 4 kids.
So